each one of these bubbles individually, and have a look at, if you look at a particular subject, to have a look at how they come together. So if we're looking firstly at, a skill, like if I'm learning to read, for example, then of course learning to read, I need the skills to know how to read, and that's very skill based, because then from the skills of learning it, then of course I improve my knowledge about what I'm reading about, and hopefully the attitude comes with it as well, that you're wanting to read. And you can see how from learning the skills to read, then hopefully that should change my attitude, and that's why you see the two here are overlapped. Or if we take a unit of inquiry, for example, if you have the concept that we're going to be looking at the unit of inquiry, and then after you look at the concept, you tell to the children, okay, well now you're going to learn more about it, you're going to improve your knowledge, but then they realise, well, I need to find some skills to help me improve my knowledge, and then by improving their knowledge, then they change their attitude about, aha, well that's interesting, I didn't know that, and that in itself then forces them to then take some action to say, well, either that's not right, or people need to know about this, so then of course they take the action to try to spread the word, as you might say, and all of that together then, might give them an improved knowledge, for example. Knowledgeable is actually one of the profiles itself, And one of the interesting conversations that actually came out from when I was presenting this with the parents was that, if we take one of these bubbles away from this diagram, it really kind of stops a lot of the good learning actually happening. So, if you take away the skill, for example, if you don't teach them the skill, then of course they won't be able to learn the knowledge for themselves. And if you take away the attitude and you teach them the skills and you teach them knowledge, but they never really have the attitude for it or interested in it, then it's something that's going to be very easily forgotten, for example. Or, if you take away the action, if you learn something and you learn skills and you learn about stuff and you feel a certain way about something, but then you never do anything about it, of course, then of course you have to question, is the knowledge really useful to you if it doesn't help you do anything afterwards? So it's a really interesting way, I think, of looking at the 5 elements and why they are so important to a child's education, and why in the school we value all 5 of them so highly. This is the end of the presentation. I hope you've enjoyed it, and please leave me feedback.